Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Good evening. And dear guests. Stories that shaped me. Every moment in our life, I believe, to be specific, every moment I am in Toastmasters Club or I'm doing something related to Toastmasters Club, it has shaped me in one or the other way. Because if you had observed in previous meetings, I never knew how to put this mic to my shirt. And today, I got the role of acting SA, and today I am a better person because I have learned this. Maybe it's a small thing, but I have learned to put the mic on my shirt. Similarly, we have many stories to know from our fellow members and maybe guests in today's meeting. So, as we know, every story has its own rules and it has a structure. Especially in Toastmasters, we follow everything in a structured manner, and we abide by each and every role. So we have some similar rules that have to be followed in a Toastmasters meeting. That is, please do not talk about sex, religion, gender, religion, or politics in your speeches, and do not cross talk when a person is speaking on a dais because it may disturb him or her. And third thing, please turn off all the noise making devices like laptop, mobile phones, tablets, etc., so that we can run the meeting smoothly. And let us keep our venue clean. So I request everyone to put the garbage in the designated dustbin. And I request everyone to be in the room while a person is speaking, and you are only allowed to move in and out of the room while the applause is going on. So that are the list of roles that are to be followed in the meeting. And now it's the time to invite a person with whom I have numerous stories to share with, and many of the stories have shaped me as a person, as a leader, and as a member. So he is the president of our club and also the area director elect of our area, that is area H1. So please welcome Toastmaster Nitish to the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nandeesh, for that introduction. A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. How are you doing today?
Great.
How is ESCOM doing? We have 1 week left. No answers?
Great.
Thank you for that. So let's know what happened in the previous meeting. Let me call upon the acting secretary. No. It's gonna be the secretary, Toastmaster Meghbala.
Second last meeting, I'm the secretary for your term.
Meeting number 534, which was held on 12th of June, began at 6:25 p.m. The acting Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Mahmadhusen, introduced the President, Toastmaster Nitish, who spoke on the theme TEAM, that is, Together Everyone Achieves More. And this code was cracked by our DTM Preeti. Later, the President introduced Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Eshan. Toastmaster Eshan spoke on the theme, gave us the rules and regulations for Toastmasters International, and then introduced the General Evaluator, Toastmaster Mehak. Toastmaster Mehak then introduced her TAGL team, which she called that day as the team's team. The timer was Toastmaster Mahmadhusen, Aakansha Toastmaster Pratham, grammarian Toastmaster Raghav, and listener Toastmaster Pranav. We had only one speaker, that was Toastmaster Aakansha, who was evaluated by DTM Preeti. Table topic master was Toastmaster Rimjhim. She conducted treasure hunt and made the participants experience Odyssey in par with the theme. The winners of the week are Best Speaker Toastmaster Aakansha, Best Evaluator DTM Preeti, Best TAGL Role Player Toastmaster Pratham as the Aakansha, Best Role Player Toastmaster Rimjhim as the table topic of Treasure Hunt Master. The guests were Shirley, guest Sheldon, guest Priya, and guest Abhirami. Meeting ended at 8:30 p.m. Thank you. Who introduced us? Oh, we all know it.
Hello, brother. Join our club soon. With this, I open meeting number 535. Can I have everyone's attention, please? Stories that shaped me. The story of Chandrama, my great grandmother. It was in the hot summer evening. It was 2009. Me and my sister, we had been to my grandmother's house. It was evening with hot summer. We requested our grandmother as usual, can we have another story today? Of course, you all know your grandmothers had a great story. Somewhere created one, somewhere real, which brought tears in our eyes. So that evening, we sat in a circle and with the family, and my grandmother started, and we didn't even know how much rotis or chapatis we ate that evening. It was so emotional that brought a tears in our eyes. So it was a story of Chandrama, my great grandmother. She was born in Sankeshwar family, in the village of Sankeshwar. She was born in a very well-known family with everything. They had a sweet business. In those years, in 1920s, there came a disease called plague. How many of you know this? Plague. And she was 3 years old and her brother was 5 years. Both brother and sister has to lose, both of them, and her father, before he took his last breath, promised his brother, that is Chandrama's uncle, that you'll take care of my 2 kids, like more than what I looked for them. Of course, they promised, but when the both parents died with a plague, the promise was broken. They didn't have even food to eat. They were given the 2 to 3 years, or 3 days before food. They were asked to work like very hard in the house. They were not sent to schools when they grew up. And it was 14 when Chandrama and they decided to get her married to a daily wage. Of course, that didn't really happen by some other way. This was what my grandmother told. And when she was at the age of 18, she faced a lot of struggles. Born in a very well-known family in the village of Sankeshwar, she was, of course. Then came a twist in the story where her uncle used to send for different houses so it will be not burden for him, so that the school fees will be recovered. And there came somewhere she was sent to Gadag for elders' aunt's house. You know, Toastmasters, she never complained for a single day since her childhood for whatever she has gone through. She never complained that people treated her like this. I was born in a very well-known family. She accepted whatever she got in life. In Gadag, when she was there and she lived for a longer time, and there came a situation where in the same colony, Basvanappa and his family were living with his son, 3-year-old son. Basvanappa's wife was again facing with the illness, and Chandrama has to go there to cook food for them. There came a situation where it was the last breath of Basvanappa's wife. It was the last breath she was taking in. And when she died, before she said something, you know, that Chandrama is, nobody is there to look after her. Why don't you marry her? Basvanappa was like, no, I cannot. You will live for longer. And of course, Basvanappa's wife took her last breath, and Basvanappa looked after her, his 3-year-old son. He used to go into well, take water. Women used to mock him up. Why are you coming near here? It is women's place. We have to fetch water from well. Due to this lot of criticisms, relatives suggested you have to marry Chandrama. Basvanappa was working in a bookstall. He was working in bookstall in Shabaji Math in Gadag. Everything changed after he married Chandrama. He looked after 3-year-old son like her own son. Then it came a situation where he has to open his own publications, Basvanappa, and after they had 8 children, and one among was my grandmother. You know, Toastmasters, to tell this story, everything changed. She never expected for what she wants in life. Everything changed. They became one of the biggest book publications in Gadag. They are very well known now. Their son became one of the biggest businessman today. Even now, he is very well known. And you know, in 2006, Chandrama was in her last days. She was counting her days. You know what her rich son did is, he took 4 acres of land, and whatever she wished, he saw that the domestic animals are there for her. He constructed a beautiful house for her so that she can enjoy her last days there. Everything was done by her sons, and husband, of course, he has taken 30 years ago. He was expired. Now, what I want to tell everyone here is 2006 was her last breath. 4 stages of her life. She was same. One was lived in a very well-known family. She has faced a lot of struggles. Then married to Basvanappa, their struggles, and they together opened a business publications. Then they had a luxurious life. It was all same for her. 4 things were all same, but she accepted everything as her. So when that story took us, it was an emotional story for us. 3 top things what I've learned from that story is, one is she never complained of whatever she has gone in life. She accepted it. Second is, she never accepted for luxury life. She never told her rich son that I want a farmhouse or anything. Even till today, if you go to Varu, there is a big 4 acres land where a statue is made. Almost 20 people are to take care of the entire farm. So second thing what I have learned from is he never expected for luxury life. Third thing is, I'll tell you one of the greatest thing what I have learned from life is he looked after her uncle and aunt who troubled her a lot, who didn't even feed, and her property was taken. Her father's property was taken. So at the last moment, they lost everything. Even Chandrama and Basvanappa took care of them. The third most thing what learning is, people treat you wrong, it's fine, but see you give them a good thing. So this is what I have taken. My grandmother didn't take us to the time pass. It was she passed on the value, and I am passing to you. Thank you so much. Our dear Toastmasters and guests, every meeting needs a director, someone who brings grace and the direction. Today, that is not just, she is not just a director, she is not just a future entrepreneur, but also a dancer with dreams. Toastmasters and guests, please put your hands together and help me in welcoming Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Amrutha.
A very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I'm Toastmaster Amrutha, Toastmaster of the Day for this evening. Stories that shaped me. For me, more than stories, experience and people and the journey taught me a lot of things. Is there anybody who agrees with my opinion that more than stories, people and your journey shapes you? Thank you, that's great. Thank you. Let me take you all to the time before telling that I'm a person who takes each and every responsibility, each and every bonding seriously and genuinely and in a respectful manner. Though I was, when I was PUC first year, or maybe 8th, 9th, whatever age, the culture, what my parents have taught me is so perfect. And I won't let that go out of my journey. So when I was PUC first year, we had a big girls group in our college. And there was my friend, which is of 7 years bonding and together memories, sort of memories. What happened one fine day, I was a person who was an all-rounder in college, getting good score, participating in all the activities and all. So one day what happened, the other girl got jealous of me, whatever I'm doing. And she started doing trash talking about me with somebody else. I felt bad. And I also realized that people or maybe friends, whatever, will come to your life when it is of enjoyable moments, but not when it is needed. So one learning what I have learned in this journey is good bondings never comes with number of years you live with them, but the emotional connection, but the efforts you put for them. It might be a friendship or maybe some other things, but whatever you put efforts and the emotional connection you make, that is what counts. And that journey take me here into Deshpande Educational Trust, that is Toastmasters Club Hubli, and I am the Toastmaster of the Day for this evening. Once again, a very good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. Toastmasters International is founded by Ralph C. Smedley in California, USA on 22nd October 1924. It is funding in 149 countries, over 16,200 clubs, and more than 4 lakh members. Public speaking and leadership skill is the main motto of in Toastmasters International. So we all are here today to run this meeting smoothly, and I'm the director of this evening. So there are typical three segments where each and every Toastmaster meeting follows. The very first one is prepared speeches, where the member comes with a lot of preparation with the guidance of the mentor and pathway allotted. And the second segment is table topic session, where table topic master comes with a lot of topics and gives it to the members and even to the guest. And it is allowed to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. And the third session is evaluation session, where there's a role called general evaluator. He or she will evaluates the entire meeting, and the speaker's evaluator evaluates his or her speech. To move with our first role, that is general evaluator, to call up this to call up this Toastmaster, she is a person who recently started a new journey of Kathak, and she is the one who handles personal life and professional life smoothly, and a smooth calligraphy writer. Please help me in welcoming Toastmaster Kanchan Pawar on the stage.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for your warm welcome. As Amrutha was fed up with the same introduction all the time, she told me, give me something new. So I thought this is the best thing what I can add in my introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Toastmaster Kanchan. I am your general evaluator for today's meeting. Today's theme is stories that shape me. I believe that it's not the stories, the most powerful stories that which actually shapes our life. It's something. It's not the stories what we hear from others. It's the stories what we live every day, right? And one such story can be a journey of self-improvement. We learn, we put effort, we fail, and we try again and we grow. And what really matters if we want to grow faster or immensely, do anyone have an answer for this? Yes. Any other answers? Discipline? Yeah, exactly. That's what it is, evaluation. When someone gives you a feedback, it's the way of showing their different perspective, right? When we adapt those feedback, we grow faster and we grow differently. I think the moment we feel like we don't need a feedback and perfect enough, I think it's a moment you stop growing. The powerful tool is something called evaluation that helps us evolving. It keeps us growing. So that's what I'm going to do here as a general evaluator. I'm your general evaluator for today's meeting, and I'm going to observe and evaluate entire meeting from the beginning till end. And that help us to be a better speaker. And I want any of the senior members to evaluate me as well to be a better evaluator for the next meetings as well. And this will help us to improve, of course, and it help us to continue writing beautiful stories of ourselves, right? G is such a huge task that I cannot do it all by myself. I have my team called TAGL team. First, we have a timer who help us to respect time and keep our speeches within the limits. For timer, we have Toastmaster Nandeesh. He has completed his civil engineering, preparing for a CAT exam, and currently helping in his family business. So help me in welcoming our timer for today's meeting, Toastmaster Nandeesh.
Good evening once again. So I'm playing the role of timer today, and my job is to keep track of each and every role players or maybe speakers time in the meeting. And as mentioned by the Toastmaster of the day, we have 3 segments in our meetings. That is the prepared speeches, the table topics, and the evaluation session. For the prepared speeches, and the time allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll be showing the green card. At 6 minutes, the yellow card, and 7 minutes at red card. Similarly, for the table topic session, I'll be showing the time allotted is 1 to 2 minutes. I'll be showing the green at 1 minute, yellow at 1 minute 30 seconds, and red at 2 minutes. And for the evaluation of the speech, we have 2 to 3 minutes, and at 2 minutes I'll be showing the green card, 2.5 minutes, that is 2 minutes 30 seconds yellow card, and the red card will be shown at 3 minutes. And for each and every segment, there will be a grace period of 30 seconds to wrap up their speeches. And I'll be back with my report whenever the general evaluator calls me at the end of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Timer, for your wonderful introduction. Next, we have our counter. He's a Toastmaster who is a great YouTuber, and he's almost like, most of us members are too much fascinated by this person. So help me in welcoming Toastmaster Mahmadhusen.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests. This is Toastmaster Mahmadhusen, and I'm your Aakansha for today's meeting. Let me tell you, when I think about the stories that shaped me, they weren't always perfect. In fact, when I started speaking, all my stories were filled with ahs, ums, and long, awkward pauses. But over time, I realized that to tell a powerful story, it's not just about what you say, it's about how you say it. So today, I'm your R counter. So my job is to listen every speaker to carefully and gently point out every R and that you use in your speech. Not to judge, but to help you become a better storyteller. Because every story deserves to be told clearly. So I will be back with my report when the general evaluator calls me back to the general evaluator.
So next we have a grammarian who observes your language carefully and encourages us to speak effectively. For this role, we have Toastmaster Fida. She is a microbiologist by education. She is a medical writer by profession. She loves animals, and her hobbies includes drawing, sketching, fabric painting, embroidery, and she's a cat lady too. Currently, she owns 3 cats. So help me in welcoming our grammarian, Toastmaster Fida.
So, dear Toastmasters, when I heard about the theme, the story that shaped me, yes, so the story that shaped me, it felt like I reflected on my life, and it feels like it's an odyssey, and it's almost same as Luffy from One Piece, because he sails through the seas and with a crew, amazing crew, with with diversity, just like their dreams. And so these crews in my in my life is my family, of course, friends and other people like Toastmasters as well who are supporting me. They are diverse as well, and their presence and support and uniqueness have helped me grow. Okay, and the experiences that have learned through life have become stories, and they are shaping me become a better person, and are continuing to do so. One story that is still pending and is still it's still being written, and it is the Toastmaster journey that I'm going through now, and I hopefully do not encounter any hiccups there. And today, today I step into one small part of that story as a grammarian. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and dear guests. As your grammarian, I will be listening closely to your speeches and noting down any missteps, any thoughtful quotes, ideas, or any phrases. And and I have a privilege to also introduce you to word of the day. And for today, it is Odyssey. Odyssey refers to a long, eventful, and adventurous journey or experience. Here's how you can use it in your sentence. His spiritual odyssey led him to explore various philosophies and religions. Their personal odysseys, though different in nature, all led to profound transformation. I encourage each speaker to use this word, and if you hear someone use it, please snap your fingers to encourage their effort. I will be back with my report whenever whenever I'm called upon later in the meeting. Thank you. Over to you, dear.
So next we have a listener. For this role, we have none other than Toastmaster Nitish as a listener, our president.
Thank God. Thanks for letting me know at least 3 minutes before so that I can think what to tell. Once again, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and esteemed guests. Can you have your attention, please? Raghav, are you there? Thank you. Please, please. Once again, good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guest. Being in this 3 years of journey of Toastmasters, I had always one question. Why do people listen to only few people? Any answers? Wrong? Because why do people only listen to few people? Okay. Because listen carefully. Can we have it more? What is listen carefully? Okay. You're almost near. They listen to the emotions of person. So if you talk in Toastmasters like senior members, right? Anytime you talk to them, they listen to the emotions. They don't tell Nitish you shouldn't do this. They listen to the emotions and they respond back to you what is to be done. So listening is not just about listening to people, because in school we have been knowing, hey, you have to listen. Teacher has always told us, but we have of course listened. We have good skills, but do we listen to the emotions is what really important. So whenever you are listening to next time to anybody, you see that you are not just listening and you are living from other ears. It is very important you are listening to the emotions of the person and you are responding back. So as a listener, I will be listening to what the speaker speaks. I'll be asking questions when the general evaluator calls, and whoever answers the right, they will get goodies. Over to you.
Yeah, that's great, Toastmaster Nitish. I thought I would ask someone to volunteer this role, but the role has been imposed on him. But you introduce yourself so well. Thank you so much. Your introduction part has been done by Nitish. So yeah. So the role will be continued by Raghav, of course, now. Yeah. So I'll be back with my report. So let me tell you, like we are not here. We are here to encourage each other and support here and not to judge. So I'll be back with my evaluation report along with my tag team at the end of this meeting. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kanchan, as a general evaluator. Before going to the first segment, that is speech, and the speakers are ready to give their absolute speech, let me ask you a question. From the start of the meeting to till now, everybody is done with the struggles and their hard works and all, but nobody mentioned that we need to live in the moment. I know stories shapes us, but they also teach us to live in the moment. So is there anybody who enjoys each and every moment? Okay, that's great, that's great. Okay, to move with the first speaker. He is an MBA graduated student and who handles his business, who treats her mother as a first girlfriend. Before publishing his name, let me call first speaker's evaluator, that is Toastmaster Mehak. Evening, Toastmasters and guests. The purpose of my speaker's project is to introduce himself to the club and learn the basic structure of public. The speech title is From Diwali Lights to Boardroom Bread. All the best. So that's one and only Toastmaster Pratham as a first speaker.
Icebreaker. A quick question to all of you. How many of you here are mama's boys or girls? Perfect, because I'm not only mama's boy, but the CEO of Mummy's Happiness Private Limited. And trust me, it's a full-time role with stock options of unconsidered love, bottomless food, and generous ESOPs of huge life advices. But before we move into boardrooms and business buzzwords, let me take you from where this all started. I was born on Roop Chaudas, a day before Diwali, a day dedicated to enhancing beauty. Clearly, the tradition works. Look at me. During Diwali, while everyone are cleaning their homes and lighting up diyas, my family lights up and tells, let's celebrate Pratham. He's our biggest investment. Asset. I'm a businessman. I always see investments. But every asset needs a foundation. And mine starts with my mom. Someone whom I love and admire the most.
She's my biggest cheerleader and the reason I never needed self-help books. No issues, girl. But my mama never missed a girl child. She always told, "Mere do anmol ratan, ek hai Dev, to ek Pratham." It means Dev and Pratham both are her lifelines. Now, who's Dev? Dev is my sibling, my partner in crime, my unpaid therapist. From pranks to business plans, we have done all together. And my father, a dynamic businessman and a benchmark whom I look up to. Now let's go back to my old days. I started my schooling in Rotary, where I was a brilliant student, a ranker, a bright person, due to which I was shifted to Parivartan, a ICSE syllabus school. There I had 13 subjects, which was a headache for me and not takeable. After which I was shifted to Chinmaya school. That shaped me, that improved me. I became the house captain, and under my leadership we won the general championship. Now, as every coin has two sides, I have two. One, the religious me that keeps me calm and composed. The other, mischievous me. Examples: I broke my leg on my birthday. Stitches, ligament tears, and my finger stuck in the car door. I even traveled solo. I traveled to US for studies. I traveled to Europe, where I found a different version of myself. I traveled to Goa, Udaipur, Bangalore, attended business conferences and delivered results. There, I learned something beyond textbooks, gained knowledge. I am a Marwadi, and that comes with its own perks. I was born with a calculator in one hand, a business plan in another. And while everyone used to join the gym at that age and quit 2 weeks later, I joined my business and stayed. Now, finally, why Toastmasters? Because more than being a mama's boy, dad's prince, Dev's partner in crime, I wanted to be something more. More than a business mind, more than a businessman. I wanted to be a person who listens, who learns, and in future wanted to be a leader who speaks from heart. So Toastmasters, here I am, soon going to be your treasurer, soon would be among you, and I would want all of you to join my journey, to join in my odyssey. And soon I would even like you all to like my posts on Insta when I would be graduating from SPGen, India's best management institute, on 24th. Do not miss that. Thank you. From Diwali lights to boardroom brights. Thanks. Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster Pratham Kotari, for your wonderful speech. I think it was more than a wonderful speech. I think the way you were looking to your son was really absolutely nice. To move with our second speaker. She is an extremely Toastmaster. Everybody says that she's a drama queen, but initially she's not. She is so kind-hearted and a one who spreads love among everywhere, who is a therapist and solves somebody else, but also reminds them to give the smile even in the hardest time. Please help me in welcoming Toastmaster Rimjhim as a second speaker. Okay, just a minute. Okay, before moving that, let me call her evaluator, that is DTM.
Toastmasters get the purpose of the speech isn't on any topic, seek feedback, write the feedback for second.
Please help me in welcoming Toastmaster Rimjhim Goel as a second speaker.
Thank you for a wonderful introduction.
Most welcome.
Before starting my speech, I'm forgetting my speech because Toastmaster Pratham was so good. Like, okay. Being an should I tell? Being unapologetically me. Being unapologetically me. Being unapologetically me. Can I say the title? The title of my speech is Being Unapologetically Me. Me, me, me. Me. It's just me. M.
Guys.
Have you ever felt like an excited electron? Well, I have. Born an extrovert, but somehow nudged into being an introvert. I was like a firecracker kept in a damn box, full of energy, but never allowed to burst. As a kid, I always wondered, will I ever be able to shine like those kids who own the stage, won debates, or ace all the drama competitions? Let me take you back to my childhood, a time of innocence, embarrassing moments, and free entertainment for relatives. I loved dancing as a kid. At home, I was like a lion. I would confidently imitate Bollywood actors, twirling and stomping like a star. But outside, crickets, I don't know. It's difficult when the audience changes, right? I didn't know. I always questioned myself who I was. But talking about moms, as we all know, they have a sixth sense for spotting your hidden talent. Mine decided my dancing needed a wider audience, specifically my cousins. So one fine evening, she told me, "Beta, dance for them." Naturally, I panicked. I negotiated. Okay, I will dance, but in a closed room. To my surprise, she agreed. Victory, I thought. The music started. I was in my element, dancing enthusiastically on Crazy Kiare. Then suddenly I realized something strange. I observed that the door was ajar. My cousins were peeking in from the door. Their laughter hit me like a plot twist in a Bollywood movie. Mortified, I yelled, "Mummy!" Well, that day, I learned an important lesson. I wanted to be seen, but not like that. As I grew up, the fear of being seen followed me. At home, my smallest achievements were met applause. But out in the real world, exactly, again, crickets. Again, when you just go out in front of that audience, you always question yourself, am I good enough? Will people like what I have to offer? But then I thought, would Michael Jackson ever become the king of pop if he doubted himself? If he waited for people to validate him? Probably not. So I decided to take risks. My first big step was a mock dress competition in my college. I had no idea what it was. But there I was, standing in front of a crowd, pretending to be someone who I was not. But oddly, I felt maybe I was finding someone I could be. Not only did I survive, I won. For next 3 consecutive years, I crushed every debate and mock test competition I entered. From fearing speeches to delivering them confidently. Trust me, boldness is addictive. Whenever I stood on that stage, I felt a little more alive, a little more me. Today, I'm still skinny, short, and lean, but now I am unapologetically me. Well, yes, I dance in front of my cousins, not for them, but with them. And no, they still don't pay me cash. But at least they laugh now. So, dear Toastmasters and guests, what's stopping you from being authentic self? A fear of judgment or a need for validation? Well, remember, life isn't about waiting for applauses from cashless relatives or someone else. It's about showing up, owning your quirks, and dancing like no one is speaking through the door. Or even if they are. Before I end, let me leave you with this. Being unapologetically you is not about being perfect. It's about embracing the lion and the cat within you. Then go out there, take risks, and shine. And when life put you on the spot, don't just perform, own the stage. Thank you.
Rimjhim, I think you have to teach us dance now. We need to know how is your choreography on Crazy Kiara. I really wanted to know that. I think in our club there is another dancer named Rimjhim. If any dance choreography needed, we can just contact her. It was a wonderful speech, Rimjhim. Thank you. Let's move to the third speaker. She is a person. In her age, everybody is living their college days and enjoying with their dad's money. But she is a person who handles her college stuff, but also working simultaneously and doing her own expenses with her salary. Please help me in welcoming Toastmaster Aakansha as a third speaker. Before that, I request her evaluator to know her objective.
Toastmaster. Or let it project title of the speech. Purpose of the for the member. Intention. As well as and define how the non-verbal so the timing for this particular
Thank you, Toastmaster Khushi. Now let's call our third speaker, Toastmaster Aakansha Kulkarni, on the stage.
Okay, the speech title is Reading Between the Gestures. Okay. I have a question for you all. Who would love to read minds here? Toastmasters and guests, I'm very sorry to disappoint you, but today I'll not be teaching you the typical way of mind reading. But I'll be teaching you something as powerful as reading minds. That is, reading minds through body language. It all started in 11th. I did not want to study, like always, but I did not want to be unproductive. So I opened up my laptop, I typed in youtube.com, and then I typed in TED Talks. I scrolled down all the TED Talks trying to find a title that pleases me. That's when a video caught my attention. It was 11-minute 8-second video. The title read, Reading Minds Through Body Language. As I opened the video, I saw a beautiful lady who was probably in her late 50s. She had short blonde hair cut near her ear. She wore a red top and a black skirt. She stood there confidently and she started speaking. I never knew when the video ended. By the end of the video, I started thinking differently. I started looking at people differently. That's how I learned how to read people using body gestures or body language. I'll do the same. I'll teach you how to do that. Now, who is this woman? Who is this woman in the red top and black skirt? Her name is Lynn Frankie. And she was talking on the TEDx stage of Naperville. Let me share what she shared with me through the video. So, in this world, people can be differentiated into 3 types. Those are the lookers, the listeners, and the feelers. So let's dive deep into what these 3 categories are. The lookers. This world consists of almost 75% of this world is of lookers, okay? And maybe most of you here are too. Lookers are basically people who visualize things. If they want to remember something, they try to remember a picture of how it happened or a movie, or they make memories into movies and try to remember it in that way. So if you ever see a looker, they stand very straight, they're dressed very nicely, they are very tip-top, and they always look up when they're trying to think anything. Now you think by yourself, if you want to remember a picture or a moment, would you think up or down? Up, right? So this is what lookers do. So they have a lot of wrinkles on their forehead. Now, I'll give you an example of a looker. I don't know how many people have seen my mom. My mom is definitely a looker. When I was in 4th or 5th, I used to ask her, Amma, how do I memorize all of these words? She used to tell me, create a story. Make a story. And then you can remember it. And that's how I started memorizing a lot of things. So that is a trait of a looker. Now, how do you appeal a looker? If you want to make good impression, if there's a looker and you want to have a really good first impression, what you do is you use words like, I see, I look forward to meeting you. Words like this, which usually mean visualizing. And always make direct eye contact with the looker, because they really love that. So starting with the second kind of people, the listeners. In the world, there are 20% of listeners. And let's learn about them. They are very different from lookers. They hate eye contact. So never make eye contact with listeners. They always look down when they want to think something, or what they have heard something and they want to remember what someone said. Look down. And something interesting about listeners is they always click these pens. Have you seen those pens where we have a clicker? So they, for some reason, they're always doing this. Thank you. Now, I'll give you an example of a listener. My grandmother. She is an avid listener. Whatever you tell her, she will, even though it's 1 year later, she'll say, I remember you saying that. So that is my grandmother, and that is a trait of a listener. And what do you do to appeal or make a good first impression in front of a listener? You don't make eye contact. That is the first rule. And you use words like, I hear you. Okay, words that indicate listening or something which is audio. Now coming to the last kind of people, the feelers. This is a 5% of the world. Only 5% of people are feelers. They love hugs. Even though you don't know them, they'll come in for a hug. And they always like the feel of touch. So they always like physical touch. So what they do is when you're laughing, they try to hit you or some kind of physical touch. And when you're talking with them, they try to lean in to reduce the distance between the two of you. An example is my dad's cousin. She is a feeler. No matter who in the family, she always hugs them first. Now, what do you do to appeal a listener? What do you do to appeal a feeler? Hug them if you're comfortable. Hug them back. But if you're not, make sure that you extend a firm handshake. Now, where will all of this come to use? When making your first impression. Do you know that a first impression happens within the first 7 seconds of meeting someone? Yes, it does. So, to make those 7 seconds wonderful and to give yourself or give them a good impression of you, make sure you observe them. One thing is that, for example, I'm a looker. I will always think that everyone is a looker and I'll treat them in that way. So make sure that you observe the person and understand them and also treat them in that way. Like this, I think you will make the best impression of yourself. Thank you. Over to the Toastmaster of the day.
You know, I'm blessed of being a member in Deshpande Educational Trust. You know why? Because each and every person who is sitting here have a different skill, different talent. Thank you, Toastmaster Aakansha, for your wonderful speech. You have given a lot of insights to us. I request each and everyone to give a big round of applause for each and every speaker. So this was all about the first segment, that is prepared speeches. Now let's move to the second segment, that is table topic session. To call this table topic master, he's a Toastmaster who is a leader, who cracks the jokes even in the hardest situations, makes everybody laugh, and he has given 4-pitch and venture capitalist at the age of 18. It's absolutely great. Please help me in welcoming today's table topic master, Toastmaster Eshan Vikrant Malani. Before that, I request his evaluator, Toastmaster Afaq, to read out his objectives.
Yeah. Toastmaster Vikrant, may I know the three projects? Right. Toastmaster Vikrant and delivering which involves a different topic. Who is actually listening? Purpose statement is purpose of this project is to demonstrate that by carrying out a table topic in a Toastmaster. The timing of my evaluation also depends on the number.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Afaq. Please help me in welcoming Toastmaster Eshan as today's table topic master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amrutha, for the wonderful introduction. And thank you so much, Toastmaster Rimjhim and Toastmaster Pratham specifically, for wrapping your speech so soon that I could get some more time as the TTA. Thank you so much. Namaskara, DET. After the coronation, when I went from Bangalore to Mumbai, from the startup capital to the business capital of India, in my flight AI 2604, that was probably one of the most important 2 hours of my life. It was a life-changing flight. Not because of the service, rather because of a message that I received from someone who has made me the person I am. Seriously, I got it when I was taking off, but I could peruse through only once I landed. Because in aeroplane, you have to keep your phones on flight mode. The message shared a story of a Zomato rider who gracefully delivered a parcel. But there was a mistake from the restaurant's end. Subway, how could you do this? You didn't pack the parcel properly. Now, the customer calls up Subway. How did you pack my parcel wrong? Oh, sir, I'm so sorry. Please send the rider back. I'll pay him 20 rupees. The rider went back, redid the order, and to everyone's surprise, he didn't even take a single rupee of compensation from Subway and the customer. Simply because he said, I'd met with an accident almost around 2 years ago. And I lost a job of 1.5 lakh rupees per month. But Zomato gave me a chance of resurvival. It allowed my family to stand up again and me serving my family. The message ended beautifully. To Dipinder Goyal and Zomato, you guys don't know what you're doing, but you're creating impact on thousands of lives. It changed me as a person, changed me as a budding entrepreneur. I went to the person who sent me the message today and I said, thank you so much. You changed my approach to life. Because as an entrepreneur, I believe it's a noble profession wherein you don't just mint money. Making profits is important, but more important is to create the impact as a businessman in thousands of lives. Now, I replied to the message. Thank you so much for sharing such a lovely incident. And I hope the world, that's why, I look at Dipinder Goyal, the person he is. I hope the world looks at me one day the way world looks at DP. This was on spot, impromptu. So you need to be very good with on spot and impromptu skills. As I ended it, I know that is going to be the only day when you are going to be proud on me. So you need to be very well embellished with such a wonderful skill. And our International Centum Club, the Enchanted Club, has a very beautiful segment for the same, that is table topics. I, as the table topic master today, would help you develop and sharpen these skills better. So now, this is a segment wherein I, as the table topic master, have the right to call anyone in the room except for my evaluator and the general evaluator, who would come on the stage, give the take for 1 to 2 minutes. Usually we have only one speaker. Today we'll have 2 speakers for the same topic. Isn't it interesting, guys? Let's create an ODC by thinking that every second is an hour. Thank you so much. So now let's start with the table topic session, as I, Toastmaster Eshan Vikrant Malani, the table topic master of the 535th meeting of Deshpande Education Trust themed Stories That Shaped Me, would like to ask someone to inaugurate the session, as I call her the most approachable person of the club, and the club finds us lucky to have her as a speaker. Distinguished Toastmaster Preeti Kothari, along with the person accompanying her, is someone who's always remembered whenever anything has to be done. Toastmaster Mahmadhusen. You being Raj Shamani, you being recreate the podcast scene for 2 minutes, wherein Raj asked Tapsi that you are always in sporting genres and how does it shape you as a person. You being Raj Shamani, you being Tapsi Pannu, recreate a 2-minute long podcast wherein Raj asked Tapsi on his podcast, figuring out you are in sporting genre, how does it shape you as a person. Distinguished Toastmaster Preeti Kothari, Toastmaster Mahmadhusen. And I request all the Toastmasters today to have a careful look on the timer as you guys are in 1 to 2 minutes. Is that and I'm not allowed to do that as the
We'll manage it, don't worry. Ask me any question as if it's a film actress. Don't worry, don't be very worried. Just as any film actress was done. What was the last question? Was the sports genre, no?
Sports genre.
You just ask me any question, don't bother too much.
Can you take seats?
Yeah, that's fine.
You look like a coach.
Yeah. Please don't understand what sports genre means. They have to explain it to him.
Okay, sporting genre is not the theme on which movie is built. So sports से related कोई भी movie is built, it is a sporting genre.
To talk about things.
Like sports is Surma is a hockey movie, that's a sporting movie. For an example, the time
I'll make you very comfortable, don't worry.
Yeah. So it's absolutely amazing to have a new guest at our podcast today. So you will all be learning about the cinema industry, and if you ever wish to be an actor, an actress. So here we have a guest who has done it. So we'll be asking a few questions. We have taken it on behalf of our audience. So first, Pallavi.
Tapsi.
Yeah.
Tapsi. So I am renamed by Raj as Pallavi, and I'm glad. I like the name. Thank you so much, Raj. Yes. You can be comfortable and go ahead,
Yeah,
Raj.
okay, okay. Tapsi, I'm very excited to know how you have done all of this so far. I'm just excited to know more about your journey.
So my journey in the movies where I've done a lot of sports, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Raj. So I remember I was in school and I was this plump, very, very heavy child. And whenever it came to running races, I had a heartbreak or probably fall on the floor with a lot of tension and worry. And that's when this thought came to my mind. Can I do something with sports? Trust me, I did not learn sports. Luckily, I got a chance to be a film actress through a lot of struggles. And the first movie that I decided to do was something related to sports. Why? Because all my audience are speakers. There was something very genuine and authentic that comes with it. Because you face something, it's very easy for you to do it on screen. So that's why I selected a movie with sports, Raj.
So do you have some any doubts? Like, I want to know more about it. People have a lot of self-doubt. They think, will it work? Will the audience like it? Do you have that kind of thoughts?
I think
how did you overcome?
I haven't overcome it yet. I always have self-doubts, and my answer to all the audience is please have self-doubts, because when you have self-doubts, you will work on overcoming those doubts and you will do better in your job. So I think self-doubts are a part of everyone's life, Raj. I'm sure you must be worried about your podcast too.
Yeah.
It was wonderful being there on your show. Great.
Thank you.
What a wonderful take. Probably I couldn't have imagined of such a wonderful take for such a silly topic. And as my project checklist's job, just this way.
Yes, anyway.
So, Toastmaster Mahmadhusen, as Raj Shamani mentioned cinema industry and gave our lovely and approachable DTM Preeti the name of Pallavi. That's my mother's name, to be honest. So DTM Preeti loved being renamed as Pallavi, and her sporting journey. Wow. You mentioned about your sporting journey when it started in your school as a plumpy girl. And the way you face it, it's just incredible. So you guys had an incredible take. Please can I request everyone to give them a huge round of applause. Now to all my Toastmasters, I would like to ask you guys a question. Who is the second speaker of every Toastmasters meeting? Yeah, the president, obviously. So for the second table topic, I would like to introduce to our extra careful president of the club, Toastmaster Nitish Kumar Gidgeri, who would be accompanied by the second position in the XCOM, Vice President Education. Wait, what? Toastmaster Aakansha Kulkarni. Please. both of you being the social media food sensation, Dolly Chaiwala and Vada Pav Girl, please give a 2-minute take. Please give a 2-minute take on how your story has shaped you as people. Both of you being the social media sensation, you being Dolly Chaiwala and you being Vada Pav Girl, please give a 2-minute long take on how your story has shaped you as people. Toastmaster Nitish Kumar Gedagiri, Toastmaster Aakansha Veernarayan Kulkarni.
So, I have to take 2 minutes just to
No, together. It's a 2-minute conversation. Everything is a conversation.
No, we are standing on
No, we are
road.
standing, however.
It was
You want to start or I want
a
to start?
more famous than me.
Aakansha, sorry, I know her name? Vada Pav Girl, right?
What's her name?
Name? No, you don't know. It was obsolete to know that you're famous for Vada Pav Girl. I really I feel blessed that, and we both come from the same background, that we became successful overnight. Where Bill Gates came to my chai shop. He was for an Indian wedding, and yeah, thank you. So what I did is it was all over the social media, putting my all over the chai. What do you tell the chai one? And I was famous all over. And I was called all by Dubai Shais, and I all drive Rolls Royce. I go in Rolls Royce. What about you? How is your famous story? You became even overnight success, right? What was your
Like, I usually have anger issues, but since I'm talking to the one and only Dolly Chaiwala, I am so honored to have you here, with me. I am thinking, are you thinking of franchisee? You can set it beside my Vada Pav stall. It would be a really good business investment. We could both, Vada Pav and chai go together.
Sure. May I know what is the percentage that you're giving?
I don't know what that means. I'm sorry. I just know how to make Vada Pav and shout at people.
We have quite good investors.
Hey!
They're gonna give you.
I'm talking, wait. No, I'm in the character. See, you told about your story. I'll tell you about mine. I was a kid when I was refused Vada Pav in my house. My parents were they were very healthy people, so they did not feed me Vada Pav. The desire to have a Vada Pav, I started my own Vada Pav stall. The anger issues came in when people started complaining about my Vada Pav. And that's it. I am very angry. That is how my Vada Pav runs. Vada Pav stall runs. People come to see me shout at people. So we can, with your spiked hair and colored hair, we can have a good collaboration.
Sure.
So
even by drinking chai, you can reduce your anger issues. That is for sure.
Thank you so much.
What a lovely take it was. Just probably beyond the array of imagination. Obsolete to know. That was what the president, as Dolly Chaiwala says, successful overnight. Please make me one. Bill Gates coming to your stall. Next time I would like to meet him as a budding entrepreneur. And please leave me to my home today with your Rolls Royce. Toastmaster Aakansha's anger issues as Vada Pav Girl could be clearly seen. Honored was what you can always say, and your franchisees never stop. Well, with such a wonderful take, now we have someone who is the shark of our club as a BBA student, and we all love being around him. And he is to be joined with someone who's going to send or parcel coffees from England very soon. Toastmaster Raghav Agarwal with Toastmaster Khushi. Toastmaster Raghav Agarwal, Toastmaster Khushi Savnur. You being Rajat Sharma, you being Dipinder Goyal. Create a scene in the Aapki Adalat show for the problem of pay to get on the job and how it shapes one as a person. You being Rajat Sharma, you being Dipinder Goyal, create a scene in the Aapki Adalat show for the point of context to pay to get on the job and how it creates a person. Toastmaster Raghav Agarwal, Toastmaster Khushi Savnur.
You can just sit a little slant. No. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For today's talk show, we have someone as dynamic as Dipinder Goyal, the CEO of Zomato. Audience. Dipinder Goyal. The first question I want to put up is, how tough is it to manage your employees when they're really sleepy when they come to the office?
It's very tough, but to avoid these problems, we got a very good employees HR. We got a very good HR for that. Our HR manager is, she takes very good measures to not happen that employees come and sleep in the office. We also conduct some activities, like we have that Zomato Day, where we call comedians to probably roast our company by wearing Swiggy's t-shirt. That's the case. Yes, it's tough, but we keep on encouraging our employees, so we don't face that problem much.
So recently, we saw a news update which was supposed to be like you're going to pay the employees who are going to come up for a job. So was it just a strategy, or you just wanted to gain that publicity because publicity is just going down these days? I can understand that.
No, we didn't took it as a strategy. We wanted people, we want new youngsters to grow. We want them to give opportunities. You see, a lot of companies are looking for experiences. This is one job where you can get into our company as a chief of staff.
But aren't you giving them the greed just to join the company? How would it affect the new generation? Because you're just giving them a greed.
No, we are not giving them a greed, but this is a thing which helps new people without experience work and learn. Thank you.
Yeah, so that was the show.
What a lovely take. Toastmaster Raghav and Toastmaster Khushi. If you guys are there in every Aapki Adalat show, I would never miss it when my grandfather is seeing that. And Toastmaster Khushi, the way you introduced my favorite entrepreneur, as dynamic as Zomato's Dipinder Goyal, strategy and PR, or that was better termed publicity by you, was also well done. How tough is it to manage the sleep of your employees? I think every business faces the same problem. You getting a new HR for that, truly wonderful. The Zomato Day, I remember Samay Rhino. And Swiggy shirt is what I always do as a speaker. Perfect. Now, let me invite the next set of our, just two, one more. I need to give 3 at least. No, I need to give 4 at least as a project. This is what my mentor has asked me to at least give 4 topics. 8 speakers, I'll just finish. 8 or 4 topics is what my mentor has asked me to give a minimum. So fun, Just 2 minutes because. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So I hope everyone loved the small table topic session. I had some more topics listed for our guests and everybody in the room, but unfortunately, as we are running out of time, so I would like to conclude it and welcome back the, chair of the meeting or someone who takes this meeting along for coming on the stage as the business queen of our club and someone who manages an online business at this young age, Toastmaster Amrutha.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Eshan. It was indeed a wonderful session. I hope everybody enjoyed the session, is it? Yes. Yeah. So now it's 10 minutes break. I think I request everybody to get down and have a snack. We'll be back here at 7:54. Yeah. Okay. Once again, good evening, one and all. I hope everybody had a good snack time. How was the cupcake, guys?
It was great.
Yes, thank you, thank you. So now I call one general evaluator for her report. Toastmaster Kanchan, please on the dais. I request everybody to clap her.
Good evening again. I'm back with my reports. So before I start with the reports with the tag team and my personal reports, so let's start with the evaluation segment. We have the evaluator for first speaker, that is Toastmaster Mehak. I'll just, thinking.
Good evening, Toastmasters and guests, and special good evening to my speaker, Toastmaster Pratham. A quick question. I am the CEO of Mommy's Happiness of Private Limited. It's a full-time role, is how my speaker really started. How thoughtfully and deep-rooted was his idea. Emotion with humor did bring in with the answer of the very first question. I believe the start of your speech did inculcate all of the audience towards your speech, and we felt like we entered a journey, a real icebreaker. Do you know how my speaker's birthday was celebrated? It was the biggest investment. And he goes, I said, that is called presence of mind. Presence of mind, humor, and revealing yourself to the audience, all at the same time. Yet you also gave us a hint and an edge that yes, there is something related to business that has been cooking there. Brother is his unpaid therapist and dad's setting a benchmark. We did get a peekaboo into the wonderful family. The school juggle leading my speaker to be the house captain and also letting him win the general championship. The humor with plot twist doesn't end here. He talks and tells us that he's religious, he's funny, and he travels a lot. When he's explaining about him being religious, he tells us an incident that he broke his leg on his birthday and did have a stitches there. So he tells us a story of his life which is not only related to his birthday, but the fun element that he has with himself, and also tells us about how religious and funny could have been combined together. And that completely shook my mind, like, okay, what is really happening? And then at the end comes the conclusion, what really happened. A Marwadi who was born with a calculator in one hand and a business plan in another was so cute and so pure. There is something more. He listens, he learns. He wanted to be a leader who speaks from heart, and that is how he introduces Toastmasters to his journey. He ends by saying, please like my post on Insta. And that is where the audience realized, is he really ending the speech or some more is coming in? There was emotion. There was audience engagement. There was love towards work, family, especially your mother. And that was relatable. That is why your speech was really meeting all of us. I loved the scripting. The best part about your speech today was the scripting. Bang on. It is thoroughly seen that you have unwinded the thoughts and the memories that you had, written it down, added similes, made it humorous, and then put it to the audience in a way that we understand, and we are also looking at your journey while you are telling us about it. The structuring included your family, school, college, work, travel, but I did miss your friends. I would genuinely want to know a lot about your friends. What a speaker, a real writer. You should really start writing. But I wanted to hear so much more. And then you used only 4 minutes, 23 seconds. Why? You have 6 minutes with you. Why not a little more? Voice modulation was very amazing. But what I missed was, if you could have taken smooth transitions through your different phases of life using the stage very well, that would make the audience remember and understand you better. You are an amazing and already seasoned speaker. But I do have one complaint. Why 4 minutes, 23 seconds? And why not 5 minutes, 23 seconds? I really enjoyed being your your evaluator, and I'm hoping to be your evaluator all over again. No, actually not, because this time I want to sit there and only listen to the speech and not even note down a single sentence that you uttered. Thank you. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, Mehak. So we have the next evaluator, our speakers evaluator, Toastmaster Preeti. Evaluator for Toastmaster Rimjhim.
Good evening, Toastmasters, guests, and my excited electron and firecracker in a damp box. My introduction to the speaker says the extraordinary effort that she put in incorporating flowery phrases in her speech. I also admired the way Rimjhim used dramatic gestures. But wait, there's a beautiful combination in public speaking, and that is your gestures with your voice tone. She had dramatic gestures with perfect voice highs and lows. When she did this with Shah Rukh Khan, plus when she said, Mama! So a combination of great voice with gestures. What I loved the most in Toastmaster Rimjhim's speech was the way she connected her beginning with the end. I call it 360 degrees. But wait, what she added was her conflict that she had in the beginning was her resolution in the end, and that connected the entire speech very well. The example here is her cousins peeping in the beginning to see her dance was the conflict, and then in the end, she dancing with them was the resolution. So the entire 360 degrees in which she started her speech and ended with the same statement was a very good trait that good speakers have. Now it is time to get my firecracker out of the damp box and show her light. And that happens through feedback. Somewhere in between, I felt that my speaker Rimjhim looked a little lost, but she found her way in just a few seconds. Now, how does she overcome this? She overcomes this with practice, but most importantly, practice with different kinds of audiences. Second one, script, unscript, rescript. You started very well and ended at 360 degrees. However, there were too many messages in the and lines that could be taken off and replaced with something that could add a better content. The third one, something that my speaker has taken off like a great flight from her beginning when she joined and today, is her voice. She's worked very well on it. However, a couple of ending words were unheard to me, like embrace the lion and I couldn't hear. A fear of judgment, or the last word was unheard. So practice vocal exercises. They really help Toastmaster Rimjhim. Dear Toastmasters and guests, A thought about Michael Jackson helped my speaker find out herself and be the unapologetically her. But today, dear Rimjhim, your speech inspired me to be an unapologetically me. So thank you for a speech that made a conversion or a change in me and inspiring me. Over to you, General Evaluator.
So next we have a third evaluator, Toastmaster Aakansha, for the speaker, Aakansha. Yes. Yeah. I'm so sorry for that. Evaluator Khushi.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. Let me firstly appreciate my speaker's effort of adding that unique element of adding an inquisitive question to her speech. How many of you know to read minds? I mean, wow, that literally set a tone for her speech. Details of her speech was commendable. I mean, the speaker, very naturally told us about the YouTube video she watched, right from her surfing techniques to spotting the speech, a TEDx talk speech that was reading mind through body language. She literally went into the details of explaining the speaker who has impacted her mind and body, wearing a red top and a black skirt. The speech had a practical approach to the concept of body language, as it cleared what the concept of body language was all about to the audience. Now, talking about the improvisation points for my inquisitive speaker, stress points. The script, the content had enough stress points, that is important points. The speaker missed the stress on them, especially the 3 pointers that my speaker told about: lookers, listeners, and readers. It would have been more impactful if she would have stressed on it. Lookers, listeners, and the feeders. Secondly, the speaker's body language had a scope of improvisation, particularly with an open body language and some voice modulation. Because ultimately, the purpose of your speech was to understand the usage of body language, the intentional and unintentional body language. So while you were moving on the stage, your body language was restricted to this. You could have, created excitement with your body language. That would have been very impactful. And thirdly, conclusion was missing. The speaker's script was very well designed, but ultimately conclusion is what all matters at the end, and that is the part that my speaker missed upon mentioning. To summarize, I believe Toastmaster Aakansha, my speaker, is actually a Toastmaster with the potential to convey complex topics in the simplest form with her dynamic approach. A little work on your body language and structuring of the speech with a constructive conclusion will help you grow eventually. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Toastmaster Khushi. So we have an evaluator for our table topic master, that is Toastmaster Afa.
Good evening, Toastmasters and only guest. I'm right? Yes. Thank you. I'm thrilled by the fascination of Toastmaster Eshan Malani has for communication, for anything he does in the club to make his role incredible. I am in awe of the ability that he gets his knowledge with so many ways and so many choices he holds when he comes to speak on this stage. The table topic session met its objective in terms of the affirmations about the respective speakers invited for each topic on the stage. There is something I must never miss to speak about the table topic master. The outcome of the topic of the speech for the for the both invited members in terms of rapport, humor, role playing, and acting was outstanding. So this is a class which a table topic master Eshan created by influence of his own topics and the aura of the topics which he created. This is remarkably done, and I feel is the most important achievement of a table topic master Eshan Malan. Having said this, I say the overall success of the structure, timing, pitch, space offered or taken by either of the speaker in each topic offered to the two Toastmasters, and this forms my suggestions to him. The introduction of table topic master Eshan Malani took about 3 minutes 48 seconds. This is something not acceptable to me as an evaluator, because the table topic master has to introduce what table topic session is. Since he had a different structure to his table topic session, that is inviting two speakers on the stage, then what he should have done is, if I were him, what I could have done was, I could have offered a respective time for each of the speakers coming on the stage. For example, if Rajat Sharma, and who had come with Rajat Sharma? Yeah, fine. So Rajat Sharma, you are going to ask question in 15 seconds. Then the speaker is going to respond in 30 seconds. Then in 15 seconds, you are going to have your rebuttal. Then thereafter, the table topic master should have divided the time respective in that. And not doing this has created the greatest amount of disparity among the speakers of all the topics invited on this stage. Hence, I say the art of carrying out a table topic session is for the speaker to have his excellent communication skill coming out, which is met. But giving him or her more time than required, it will derail the very objective what they have achieved in this topic. Right? And thereafter, there could have been a little preparation with respect to the table topic session. If I were in Eshan's place, what would I do? I would have organized, taking help of the table, some of these members backstage. Okay, maintaining two chairs over here. Okay, when I call a particular person, when I call from this side, you come here and you come here. Everything should have been carried out in a fast track timings. So it all appeared very confused, and it did not bring the impact which the table topic master himself desired. So as I say, the greatest takeaway for me is his ability to bring out the speaking skills and the geniuses, or Tapsi Pannu, or Raj Shamani, Vada Pav Girl, and the Chai Wala, then Rajat Sharma and all that, Bhupendra Singh and all that. Yeah, I found for a while, if at all, if we have to learn how to introduce our podcast into that, then we can really go to him. But having said, having a congruence and consistency in carrying out something is a hallmark of a greatest speaker, and that's where people win. It is not about the only knowledge I hold. It is also about how I carried out in a given respective time. That's where the world champions are created. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator. Yeah.
So now I want to introduce my TAGL team to come on the stage and to present their reports. Start with the timer. Toastmaster Nandeesh.
Good evening once again. So here is my timers report for today's meeting. I apologize as I couldn't note down the timings of our presidential address and my own essay address. And starting from the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Amrutha, she took 4 minutes 19 seconds for her introduction. Again, our general evaluator, Toastmaster Kanchan, took 2 minutes 4 seconds for her introduction. And coming to a counter, Toastmaster Mahmadhusen, 1 minute 55 seconds. Grammarian Toastmaster Fida, 2 minutes 18 seconds. Listener Toastmaster, acting listener Toastmaster Nitish, 2 minutes 23 seconds. And our and one more thing, while introducing, I didn't mention that for icebreaker the timings are 4 to 6 minutes. My apologies for that. So our first speaker, Toastmaster Pratham, in his icebreaker speech took 4 minutes 23 seconds. Toastmaster Rimjhim took 5 minutes 11 seconds for her speech, and Toastmaster Aakansha crossed the time limit, so 7 minutes 53 seconds. So that's a disqualification. And for the table topics, there were three groups. The first group, that is Toastmaster Mahmadhusen and distinguished Toastmaster Preeti, they were on time, 2 minutes 15 seconds. And Toastmaster Aakansha and Toastmaster Nitish took 2 minutes 39 seconds to wrap up. That is a disqualification again. And Toastmaster Kushi and Raghav took 2 minutes 21 seconds. And evaluators, Toastmaster Mehak, you crossed, like you took 4 minutes. That is a disqualification. And distinguished Toastmaster Preeti, 2 minutes 56 seconds. Toastmaster Kushi, 2 minutes 31 seconds. And Toastmaster Afaq, as a evaluator for our table topic master, took 5 minutes 8 seconds. Make sure that in the further meetings, this is for all the ones who have disqualified. Make sure you are on time in the next upcoming meetings. Thank you. Back to the general evaluation.
Thank you, Timer, for your well explained, reports. Going with the next report, our counter.
Good evening again. I'm back with my report. Toastmaster Nandeesh used 5 plus R's. Toastmaster Nitish, no R's, no filler words. And Toastmaster Amrutha, no filler words, no R's. Toastmaster Kanchan, 3 R's. Toastmaster Raghav, 5 plus R's. DTM Preeti, no R's. Toastmaster Mehak, Kushi, and all the other remaining speakers, they use no filler words, no R's. So this is my report. Back to the general evaluator.
Thank you, our counter, for your short and clear report. So next we have a grammarian, Toastmaster Fida.
Good evening, dear Toastmasters. Starting with the misspelled sentences. If you are observed could have been if you have observed. Put on my shirt could have been attached to shirt. Let us keep our venue clean could have been let us keep our venue clean. Let's keep our venue clean. another story could have been we have another story. Rotis and chapatis could have been bread types. Brought tears to eyes could have been sorry. It was a last breath could have been he breathed his last. She never expected for what she wants could have been she never expected anything for herself. If you're listening next time to anybody, could have been next time if you're listening to someone. She never expected for luxury life, could have been she never expected a luxurious life. This is how my vada pav runs, could have been that is how my vada pav business runs. She takes very good measures, could have been she takes excellent measure. We call comedian, could have been we invite comedians. Not talkable could have been not talkative. Dad princess could have been dad's princess. We live in a moment could have been live in the moment. MBA graduated student could have been a MBA graduate student. She is extremely Toastmaster could have been she is extremely talented Toastmaster. There was my friend could have been there was a friend. That journey take me here could have been that journey brought me here. There was a misspell of a word, the abbreviation tag team. It was called tag team. Could have it is correctly pronounced as TAGL team. And the catchy phrases and the words that I thought are worth mentioning used by speakers were crickets like chirping crickets, and then unpaid therapist, benchmark, unapologetically, boardroom lights, electron, twirling, stomping, ajar, yelled, mortified, gestures, straight, appeal, avid listener, impromptu, mint money, embellished, enchanted, sporting genre, plump, franchisee, critics, peekaboo, and applause. And the word of the day was used only by a few members, and those were Mehek, Pratham, and Eshan. And the quote, a thoughtful quote that I've noted in one of the speakers was, when life puts you on the spot, don't just perform on the stage. That is for my report. That is from my report. Thank you.
Great observation. Lovely. So next we have a listener, Toastmaster Raghav.
Okay. So couldn't come at the introduction part, sorry. But yes, the questions are here, and thank you, Preeti ma'am, for helping with me with all the questions. And okay, the first question is, what did Nandeesh not know until previous meeting? Yes. Okay, who is our secretary? This is what. Okay, what is the name of? Hey, what? Okay, name of Siam sister. One more. On count of three. On count of three. Okay, hands down. Hands down. 1, 2, 3. Kushi. Okay, you have to say the full name always. What does Toastmaster Pratham for her mama? Yes, Aakansha.
Please complete writing will get for this module. Do you remember something?
The two sides of Pratham.
One is religious, the other is
Yay, evaluators.
I know. No, I know.
Okay. Correct. What was the listener title of Toastmaster Rimjhim's? Hey, what was the title of Toastmaster Rimjhim? Speech, Rimjhim speech. This one. We'll move to the next question. Being. You told being. No. It's fine. What is Tapsu Pannu renamed as? Karthik. Okay, last two questions. What is the new business model of Vada Pav Girl? No. You both can answer. Yes, Nandeesh.
Collaborating with the
No. Sushi. Collaborating and franchising. The word franchise is called. One more last. Good bonding doesn't come with years, but what? Yes, Mahmadhusen. Yes, Preeti ma'am. Yes. Okay, that was my question. Back to the general value.
Thank you, listener, for your interesting questions. Thank you, TAGL team, for your wonderful reports. Now, heading towards the evaluation of this entire meeting, I would say what an Insight Odyssey meeting we had or have today. Starting with the time, we started the meeting at 6:19. We were 9 minutes late today. Sergeant at Arms and presiding officers. Yeah, the Sergeant at Arms started the meeting with great confidence. The President message was welcoming and encouraging with a positive voice tone. So one challenge, the recommendation I would say, as a Sergeant at Arms, you need to mention the mission of Toastmaster, which was missing. And presiding officer, the theme, you spoke more than 5 minutes. You were running out of the time. Try to work on that. Secretariat report was really good. One thing I would like to, if this is possible, can be added next time. Members of attendees. Because that will make us aware that how many members were active and who all are not coming. That make us more aware. Coming to the Toastmaster of the day. The Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Amrutha, beautifully tied up with the theme throughout the meeting, especially during your introduction. Well done. Great energy and presence. I have few recommendations. I could see that you did not follow the protocol or convention while you're calling the speakers on the stage. So it should be like title, name, title and name. Toastmaster Amrutha, the title, again the title, then the name. So this is the convention what we follow. And need to know the speech title beforehand so that we don't have a chaos or confusion when you are on the stage. So overall, it was a great performance, I would say. Coming to the speakers, Toastmaster Pratham, great energy. It never felt like, it was your icebreaker speech. Excellent. The rhetorical devices you used, like, prank to plan, and so many other catchy phrases. I just loved it. One thing I would say, suggest that you stop down the green card. Your evaluator has already mentioned it. Coming to the next speaker, Rimjhim. I really love that one line, don't wait for the validation, because even I believe that just believe in yourself. It's not about the perfection, it's about the progress. Again, one recommendation, please be aware of your title. I think you made up the title being on the stage. Yeah, this is what I felt personally. Just make sure that you be ready with your title beforehand. Coming to the third speaker, Aakansha, quite informative speech. Yeah, same thing. You got disqualified because even the timer shows the green card, you already finished your speech. Yeah. Coming to the next segment, that is table topic session. Toastmaster Eshan did a commendable job today. You brought energy, varieties to the session. Just outstanding. It was engaging, creative, well prepared, energetic. I just can't stop praising now. It was so good. Totally, I just loved it. Just two recommendation. I would say that just always try to pick the guest, because we had only one guest today. You could have, as you know that we have a lot constraint of time, you could have picked the guest, and always start your when you come on the stage, start with the positive statement. I could see that you mentioned, oh, thank you, Rimjhim, and the other speaker, Pratham. You wrapped up your speech very soon so that I can have more topics. We never encourage such kind of statements when you're on the stage. Yeah, I could see there was a bit of confusion because it was something very different activity what you had planned. Make sure you explain the activity well before you call the speakers on the stage. That's all. Overall, it was great take. Table topic speaker, excellent. I don't have any recommendation. Only the third speaker, Toastmaster Nitish and Aakansha went out of the time. Otherwise, it was a great job. Coming to the evaluation, evaluators did a great job. And only thing, Toastmaster Afaq and Mehek went out of the time. Respect the time and please make sure that you be on the time. Coming to my TAGL team, timer introduction was well done. I could see that you were mentioning where all the things you messed up. You don't do that. That's my job. So let me do it. I could see that we already have less time. So just be very mindful with your reports. Our counter, well explained, presented your report great. Like it was very short and crisp. Loved it. No recommendation. Coming to the grammarian role, when you come on the introduction part, don't talk too much on the theme because already the sergeant at arms are Toastmaster of the day, even president, already they spoke a lot on the theme. And we have so many speeches today. So make sure your introduction has to be short. And please make a timer, please make a note on the introduction part too, not only on the reports. One recommendation, I would say that you did not mention word of the day, like how many members used word of the day. You said, okay, I'm so sorry for that. Otherwise, it was great. Coming to listener, Toastmaster Raghav. Yeah, everyone know that what you did today. You were not on time. The questions were very engaging. I loved it. Please be serious about your role. That's it. Yeah, overall, coming to my evaluation, what I felt like I had a confusion between the speakers and the evaluators. Maybe, yeah, I messed up. I should make sure that I make a note of it before I start. Yeah, wonderful. I totally loved being a general evaluator for today's meeting. Thank you everyone who participated in today's meeting. We heard a great speeches, useful evaluation, and saw a lot of energy. Thank you, TAGL team, for doing your job great. Let's remember Evaluation is not about the perfection, it's about the progress. So keep learning, keep sharing, and keep growing. By saying that, I would like to hand over the stage back to Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Kanchan. That was absolute nice report. Now I request Distinguished Toastmaster Preeti to come on the stage.
Good evening, dear Toastmasters. This is out of the meeting segments that we have, but something very important. Can I request the people on the right side to please, all the people on the right side? Yeah. Just 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes I will take. Dear Toastmasters, a very young bunch of all of you in the club. And I've seen all of you grow. In fact, Afaq sir and I talk a lot of times. We call us senior members because we are there since a very long time. But we see all of you grow into very good speakers, communicators. You are getting very good at your leadership skills. However, there's a small recommendation that I would like to put across from all the lessons that I have learned in Toastmasters.